So why are demons presently trying to scream out of your large intestine there, my friend?
So for lunch, I had a chicken burrito, and the chicken was tossed in an exquisite ghost pepper sauce.
It has begun.
Yeah. So it tasted fantastic, but it was one of those type of spices where it's not super hot, but it just builds and builds. Like, my mouth was still tingling for a good 10 minutes after I left the burrito place.
Love that shit.
And the place is called Bubba Coo's Burritos. I actually went up. Yes, yeah. Like I said before we rolled,
I was wrong.
It was a weird as shit name. But it was a decent burrito place. I even went up and asked them what was in that sauce, because it was like, they called it a scorpion pepper sauce or something like that. And the guy actually gave me some sauce to go home. He's like, here, take it, because they were all impressed that I ate it.
If you thought it tasted good on this side, it'll taste even better on that side.
Oh yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. That's always the worst part, is the bowel movements after. But it is what it is. You got to suffer for your art.
You're not wrong.
See, I just prefer to taste my food instead of feel it. Like, I don't understand this exquisite, let's put my mouth through torment just to feed myself. Like, it's kind of you're just providing fuel for the machine, my friend.
I mean, that's a fair point. That's why
But sometimes it's for effect,
I'm particular about the spice. Like, I don't want it to punch me in the face and, like, just that's it. Like, heat for heatness' sake is kind of pointless to me. I want it to taste good and also burn me because I'm a masochist.
Okay, it's like saying I want a really comfortable car with, seat warmers that I can't control.
What about a steering wheel?
I want my ass to be on fire almost the entire time I'm in this car, and I don't want to be able to have any real control over that.
What if we had a steering wheel that was too small, so that there's no way that it could fly out of the window while I'm driving?
Okay.
You know what? I like that analogy better. I don't know why.
They don't get it, but I appreciate it, John.
All right.
Oh, is that that's a reference. Okay.
It made me happy that you brought up that spicy, that's not even a misadventure for you. You actually enjoyed it, right?
Yeah. It was a good burrito. I went up and told them that.
Because you had the good version, I had the bad version. Because they finally got me with the tater. Been recovering this week, and the first thing that I did when I first started feeling bad is I got a habanero boneless wings. Because I was like, I'm gonna sweat this out. That's what I do anytime that I'm feeling anything that has to do with your head or anything. Like, that's why I like super spicy, like application wise, right? Like the spicier it is, sometimes like Thai food in particular, if you get like the right spicy, it'll just flush you out.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for the after effects, and I was suffering for it. So I'm glad someone at least got what they wanted.
That's why that's on your mind. Okay, that makes sense.
I mean, outside of the usual, yeah.
Well, yes, yeah.
Well, speaking of fevers that you can't sweat out, by the eternal, grab hold. It's about to be painful, because this is, in fact, the Disinformed podcast. I'm Shane.
I'm John.
I'm Michael.
I'm Courtney.
I just don't know how much we need to escalate into talking about things screaming out of people's posteriors. I'm in the middle of reading a scene very similar to that in Dreamcatcher, so I feel like I've endured enough rectal trauma for a day.
Well, let me take it back to like a normal place. I found out something this week.
That's not possible with you, I'm afraid.
Hear me out. I found out something this week that I didn't know about.
Oh.
Courtney, you're a chef. Did you know that you can put honey in tea?
What?
You didn't know that?
I had never really done it. I'm not like a honey guy, but
John.
But now, Shane, do you still like the throat comforter from Yogi, the tea?
Wow, neither way you spread this is going to be good, because it's a throat coat tea, but you both sound like something that you get in an alleyway from a young woman.
Anyway, I highly recommend throwing a little bit of honey inside.
Yeah,
inside
that's how most normal humans take it.
Anyway.
But
And then if you throw a little lemon juice and whiskey, it's a hot toddy, and that's super great for when you're sick.
I'm sober. I've never
that's
drank
why
before
she's
in my life.
recommending the
Therein
hot toddy.
lies problem one.
They also have I think it's called a medicine ball at
What is it?
Starbucks.
Oh, yes.
I think it also has honey in it as well. It's very good.
Do you get paid to promote that drink, Michael? Because I think that's probably the 7th time you've talked about it on this show.
I wish I did. I just really like it. It's my favorite drink from them.
At this point, I would rather just have the Negan baseball bat.
I can help.
I would appreciate it.
I order a speedball from Starbucks. It's an entirely different drink, but I guarantee you're not going to have a slow morning. Well, as per usual, we're just not having any segues for these shows, so I guess we're just going to figure out what the fuck we're doing here. So in any event, for those of you who have absolutely no clue what happens on this show, welcome to the club. It's expanding weekly. And typically, though, we try to talk about random esoterica not involving, heat levels or joules and
what the hell is a gigawatt?
Indeed. I don't think you're supposed to say that anymore. But occasionally we touch on random esoteric nonsense, and in the course of explaining it, we lie about it. That's the fun. Then the co-hosts have to figure out what was fibbed about, and then we get to the end of the episode, we have a little denouement, we explain the whole rigmarole, what we lied about, why it wasn't funny, and let you leave grateful for the experience, I'm sure. But this week, Courtney has got something I'm sure is just prone to knock our socks off or perhaps put taste back into some people's mouths.
No, we should keep talking because you guys are going to be upset by this. We should just not do this. We should just move on.
Okay, this has been the Disinformed podcast this week.
And I'm Michael.
No, I think this topic... You are going to be upset with me partially because I've been on a roll, but this fits the middle. This is like the perfect middle of the Venn diagram for topics for this show, in my opinion. It's got scandal. It's got, it's timely. This came up on my TikTok For You page. That's how I found out about it. It is about an animal, but it's a good time.
Otters are a riot.
It's not otters.
Pass.
We can
and he's gone.
We'll talk about them chewing each other's faces off during intercourse. That'll be delightful.
Wait, do they really do that?
So cute.
Sure do.
What?
Hot.
Yes.
And
male otters attack female otters while they're mating. It's delightful. You should look up pictures.
No.
I'll get right
There's
on
no
that.
joy in this fucking universe, friends. I don't know if any of you figured this out yet, but maybe one more time around the sun, you might just come to terms with this. Well, give me another 5 minutes. I guarantee I'll win you over.
So I have 5 lies for you guys. And I am going to take a page right out of Michael's book, and I'm going to bring you in with a story.
Ooh.
I'm intrigued.
So picture this. You arrive at one of the 26 zoos in the world that's allowed to have this animal. You go, you buy your ticket, you stand in line, and you wait anywhere from 45 minutes to 2 hours. Everybody wants to see these animals. You press your face to the glass once you get to the front of the line. You see them doing basically nothing interesting. They're either just sitting there, sleeping, eating. It's not that interesting.
And then someone says over the loudspeaker, "Welcome to Jurassic Park."
They do move in herds.
And then, of course, you're ushered through another area to buy merchandise. To buy merchandise to support the conservation of this animal. Only then to find out on TikTok all these years later that pandas aren't real and you've been scammed this whole time.
I like where this is going. Okay.
So I'm going to assume that none of you are familiar with the conspiracy theory that pandas aren't real.
Frankly, I'm bamboozled.
Is this a spiritual successor to birds aren't real?
It's probably the same thing. It's coming from the same source.
This one has more evidence.
How dare you?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa, them's fighting words.
So
I've seen an Asian gay nightclub. Okay, panda bears are a real thing. I'm not going to sit here and let you lie to me.
He's not wrong.
No. So this came across my For You page about a week ago. I had no idea that this was a conspiracy theory, and there is not very much compiled research. So we are ahead of the curve on this topic. This will be the authority on the pandas aren't real conspiracy.
It's terrifying.
Yeah, it's not good.
That's also true.
But in my research, I did find an expose of sorts from 2006 that was written by a brave soul named Hassan. He goes by Acetone Michael, where he boldly expresses his concerns about pandas, about the control of the Chinese government, and how pandas they don't make sense. They're not real.
So this is some kid from Sheboygan who's had too many magic mushrooms?
I hope so, because his writing it has really changed my life, and I have a good chunk of it here for you today.
If I see this person referenced as a scholar in any sort of reputable documentary, and then it's just under the bottom of his picture, they have Hassan Acetone Michael. I'm not sure I'm going to take him as a credible source. I'm sorry.
And is acetone real? Like that?
Yeah, it is.
Does he explain why he has that nickname?
No, he doesn't.
Furthermore, I'm even more astounded that he wasn't called as a witness in the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. As credible as this sounds.
Oh, when I tell you this is easily the most credible source I have ever used for any of my episodes, I am lying.
Okay.
Because
cool.
This is it's out there.
So he begins his statement with, "Panda bears aren't real."
Exactly.
Okay.
And it doesn't help also that, like, the first thing that Acetone highlights in his article is that pandas look like raccoons, so they're probably just co-opting raccoons to be sneaky and trick us into loving them.
Can't have anything anymore, can you?
So he really starts us off strong, but I think he makes some really good points. Acetone claims that raccoons are meant to fool us, and obviously pandas also meant to fool us.
What are raccoons leading us off the trail of?
Well,
kleptomania?
Yeah, that's actually a good question.
According to his article, he believes that raccoons may even be behind the panda conspiracy. They might be dressing up in panda suits to fool us all.
And that's why we can't get the pandas pregnant?
We'll get there.
Oh, man, that makes sense. Oh, shit.
So in my other research, other people believe that it's just humans in panda suits. If you Google humans in panda suits, you will see that some people who work with pandas will put them on to handle baby cubs so they don't freak out.
Is that true?
People believe, yeah, it's very
adorable.
Cute. But the cubs actually recognize it once they're at a certain age and will bite the humans and then realize that they're not real pandas because they don't taste the same.
That's how I figure out.
That was in a Time magazine article.
So this is how they relate to one another. They just go taste a little bit and like, you smell different.
Exactly.
You taste different.
Okay.
Is that true? I have to ask. I really want to know.
Yes.
Okay.
So of course we all know for a fact that pandas are an endangered species. They have low birth rates, they have pollution and poaching that are destroying their environment, to the point where, like, we know for a fact that there's only 1,800 left in the world.
Yeah, I knew that. I knew that leading up to that.
It's common knowledge.
I have it tattooed on my left ankle.
That's
Every
good.
time one dies,
it's a daily reminder. I Victor Zaz myself. I just start little hash marks of losing them.
Shane, I had this. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I had this sad moment with one of my coworkers that you met the other week because I don't remember why I was explaining it to her. I was like, oh, you know what you should do is you should start having them tattoo what they need to do on their arms and just turn himself into that character in Memento. And they had never even heard of the movie. And it was a very sad day.
I mean, I can make assumptions about who we're referring to just based on context, but
Yeah. But anyway, it was just a sad day.
poor person. And they were traumatized by me on top of it, so...
Oh, no.
It's like they saw the movie without actually attending it. Threw him up against a wall and started screaming, "You're a John G. too!"
Yep.
Rip to John's former coworker.
Yep.
So we know, obviously, they're endangered, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Acetone says in his article that it's all a lie. And he actually cites an article from 1992 where they did a study that basically concluded that pandas could survive in their natural habitat if we just left them alone. I did click on the link to that article, and it did give me a 404 error page, so I have to assume that's part of the conspiracy.
Did your Google document crash too?
You know what? I did have to start over, and my laptop set on fire. It was a bad day.
It was a sign.
If
It
you
was a sign
didn't
to
tell
keep quiet.
If you didn't tell the secret police you were going to be looking at that website before you did, you knew the consequences.
I know.
Yep. Cover their tracks.
And I
we
have to
believe
say-
everything that happened in 1992 is still factual, correct, and readily accessible today.
Absolutely.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Especially science.
Yes, and the people that thought Bill Clinton was a good idea.
You can't say no when he plays that sax Saturday Night Live, man.
Indeed.
You couldn't. Melted for him.
Did you?
Yeah.
In your pants. Yes.
Yeah, because I was a year old and I was still shitting myself.
Every week I understand your hair more and more.
Now I have Careless Whisper just, wafting through the corners of my mind, just thinking of your
Speaking
hairstyle.
of, that mashup that you sent was deliriously good.
That particular person, I think it's Bill McCullough, and I routinely cite. It has some of the most brilliant takes on music I have ever encountered, and actually pulls in like guitar solos from other additional songs in addition to the two songs that are being mashed up. But he did a Enter Sandman merged with Hip to Be Square, which is one of my absolute favorites of all time. So yeah, it's Hetfield singing Enter Sandman over the top of Hip to Be Square, and it's exquisite. So you can waste a few hours on YouTube just going down that rabbit hole. It's marvelous.
Yeah, and for superfan Michael, who I think would actually enjoy it, it's the one that you sent is Love Gun with Careless Whisper.
Yes,
right?
And it's exquisite.
But anyway, about pandas.
Let's get saxy with it.
Pandas.
Pandas can't have sax either.
That's absolutely true.
Not with that
So
attitude.
as I mentioned, as of this recording, there are 1,864 pandas still in the world, and 600 of those live their cushy little lives in zoos, which is like, honestly, they're living their best life there. With the level of care they receive in zoos, Acetone claims that they want to be endangered. Early in his expose, he mentions that they are so spoiled that they even have free kindergartens to send the panda cubs to, where they're taught how to imitate human behaviors to further confuse and amaze us.
Why does he sound like Trump's White House?
Since this was written in 2006, I wouldn't even be surprised if he was like Steve Bannon or something. It very well could have been somebody in Trump's White House.
We have to keep them in cages. They feel better that way. They're perfectly fine being separated from their families.
They're screaming in pleasure.
So this chunk, when I read this, I was like, I'm going to read this verbatim. This is very important for all of you. So this is straight from Acetone himself. He says,
bullshits?
No bullshits. He says, pandas living at zoos are happy and carefree. They are energetic and they are often seen playing together. But if you've ever actually been to a zoo, you'd notice that every other animal seems depressed and out of its mind and trying to avoid people. Zoo animals stay in an everlasting state of sleep, waiting for death to come. That's why they're rarely seen doing anything. Pandas, on the other hand, they love the zoo. They've used their greatest weapon, cuteness, to trick humans into pampering them and treating them like kings. If you thought Panda Kindergarten was bad, wait until they build Panda Hotels, Panda Casinos, Panda Dave and Buster's. Pandas loving the zoo when every other animal there wants to die, it's starting to raise more than a few eyebrows.
I mean, they let them watch panda porn. I don't imagine that it's a bad life.
We talk about that too.
I'm sure.
They just
Why are
they
they
can't
doing
be
it doggy
real, guys.
style?
They just can't.
Well, I mean, are you trying to instill existential dread in the rest of us? Because now I'm questioning all of my reality.
I'm sorry, I thought this was a show about lying.
I mean, because according to Acetone, I'm living my best life, and that is dreadfully apparent to anybody watching not true.
So you would lump yourself in with the pandas then?
I mean, yeah, essentially, I too live in a cage and just, roll about, play with others, and haven't killed anything yet.
Yet.
Emphasis.
So, as Shane kind of mentioned previously, pandas manipulate us by refusing to mate. They just won't do it. They just absolutely do not care to further the species.
I have a headache.
I'm too tired tonight.
You smell really bad, and I don't want you touching me.
I need a shower.
I need a restraining order.
I need you guys to stop. I'm having flashbacks.
I need out of this marriage.
I need the Black Range Rover, 3 of the various penthouses to be given to me, and then you to pay $50,000 annually for me and my friends to have orgies. Too specific?
Man, that's the life.
You heard me.
I don't want to know any more about that.
I want to know all of it.
Yeah, that's triggering Michael is like my biggest fear on this whole show. Horny Michael terrifies me.
Terrifies me too.
Good.
In an article... Go ahead.
Remember, your death's in November.
Oof. In an article from Christianity Today titled, "Could Pandas Be an Evolutionary Mistake or Proof of Intelligent Design?" And
bullshit.
That is the absolute title of the article.
Best proof I've ever heard for intelligent design. Look at these fucking pandas, man. Proof.
They look like McDonald's characters sprung to life.
The black and white grimace. Sorry.
No, you're good.
It's the Hamburglar and Grimace had a child.
Oh God.
Robble wobble.
The author poses the question, if natural selection drives the formation of species, how did an animal that needs porn, Viagra, and sexercise to mate make it?
I've been asking that about our species for at least 20 years.
Yeah.
He's not wrong.
Male pandas have disproportionately small penises, and they don't even know how to mate. They have to be shown most times.
Still applies to humanity.
Yeah. Again, see this. These are people in panda suits.
Oh. Huh.
And then the females are literally never in heat. So it's just a terrible, terrible combination.
Hashtag panda me daddy.
And frankly, the lengths that keepers and scientists will go to keep this ruse up is honestly shocking. As Acetone puts it, people are more interested in panda sex than the pandas are.
Yeah.
And
well, I've never watched pandas have sex.
Don't go down that hole, John. It's scary.
They barely go down that hole. There'd be very limited content for you.
Okay. Well, that's all I need to hear.
And I thought I was most traumatized by watching, tortoises have sex.
That's hilarious. I was going to say, that's more hilarious than traumatizing.
That can't get out of your head.
I will say, is the quote about people being more interested in panda sex than the pandas themselves a bullshit quote?
No.
Okay.
And actually, I would say that he's not wrong.
I mean, yes, but human beings are depraved on a level that no other species on the planet has even managed to aspire to at this point. We've got animals just barely bringing up the rear of, enjoying inflicting pain on one another. So, I mean, we've got a pretty large expanse separating us.
To further the point, I'm going to give you a case study of two pandas that they tried to mate. So we're going to look at Sing Sing and Ling Ling. These were two pandas at the Smithsonian National Zoo. Basically, they told Sing Sing, your only job is to make babies. That is why they brought him to the zoo. That was his whole thing. They
did understand he doesn't speak English, right?
No. That was their first mistake.
Look, man, this is your one job. We're paying you for this. That's a yes.
But maybe they just didn't find the language. Like some dogs don't respond to English, they respond to German. Yeah.
Well, I think it was more like when you go skydiving and they put you in the little room with the video for 15 minutes and they send you out to go do it. Like, there was your chance to learn. If you didn't learn it in those 15 minutes, like, you're on your own.
I thought you were referring to a tandem jump because, those don't work either.
Attach one panda to the back of the other.
Yeah, I was like, relative to sex, this might be a problem.
You start off with a threesome and you teach the other panda what they need to know.
Yeah, we can't desensitize them that quickly. You got to at least allow them to have a little foreplay, work into it before you start the orgy.
Oh, that's still part of the tandem jump.
They have to learn to crawl before they can walk, before they can run and fuck.
At the same time.
So, Sing Sing didn't understand. In the process of trying to mate the two bears, he tried to inseminate her ear, her wrist, and her foot. They were like,
he's a fetishist. It's 2022. You don't kink shame.
Yep, we don't.
I heard you can actually get pregnant through the ear.
Shinshi is very effective, and at least 20% of the time.
I want you to hear how much I love you.
I mean, maybe he got some ideas from the early possums of the nose impregnation. So,
or he was very fond of banging the drum slowly.
Is the ejaculation in the wrist bullshit?
No.
She was trying to get him worked up, and it was too effective.
Oh, that's fair. Sorry, I mean this never happens. It usually happens in the ear, but oops.
Michael's going to leave tonight with a lot more ideas.
Okay.
I was trying to relieve that waxy buildup.
Halfway through this paragraph, we got this.
Okay.
I disagree.
So, the zoo people get the idea, hey, let's bring in another male. We'll see if he can teach this one how to do the sex.
We had the idea. Tandem jump. It was perfect. See?
So this panda's name is Chia Chia, which I just think is just very cute. And they're like, okay, like he's done this before, he's got this. Except Chia Chia, instead of showing off his mating skills, ends up mauling Ling Ling and has to be removed from the pen. So that didn't go really good.
It was like big sausage pizza all over again.
You haven't fucked my ear hard enough.
Yeah, so they got him out of there. That wasn't really going to work. But after some more years of trying, Sing Sing finally gets his shit together, learns how to do the sex. Ling Ling gives birth to 5 cubs. Trigger warning, none of them survive.
Aww.
So it didn't really matter anyway.
I'm calling bullshit on that they even actually managed to get him to have sex.
It is true. They were able to successfully breed 5 pregnancies, but unfortunately nothing came of it. So
years of academy training wasted.
What?
He was trained for years and it all came for naught.
Poor choice of words.
Oh boy. So acetone reminds us that basically, if you're a panda, it's not in your best interest to reproduce. Building up your species numbers means you have to go back to the wild. There goes the panda birthday parties, the kindergarten, and the panda porn.
Not my panda porn.
Which I think really makes the case that pandas might also just be like incels living in their mom's basements that got a job as a panda at the zoo because they live a very similar lifestyle.
They also have very strong thoughts about how WWE is being booked right now.
Wait, is that really a thing?
Oh, I mean, that sport is very popular with a certain brand of person.
Ooh.
I don't imagine
Checks
a lot of those
out.
folks having their own sex.
Woof.
Oof. Yeah.
Talking to you, Kissel.
Yeah. Fuck that guy.
Nobody
Fuck him yourself,
will.
coward.
Oh, boy.
I kid. Plenty of people lining up for Ben Kissel. I'm sorry.
Handsome bastard.
Mm-hmm.
Pandas, if we can even call them that, are also not so secret Chinese diplomats. And this is really where things get crazy. Because this is all true. Just check my notes here. It's very true. Best way to maintain international relations with a favored country? Give them a panda. As the Chinese military grows stronger and their economic power more threatening, the easiest way to appear more docile is by sending over a mostly vegetarian, fluffy, non-threatening, high-maintenance bear.
I'm available for parties, friends.
I feel like that would be a very poor choice for the U.S. to send you as a diplomat.
Ouch.
I mean, if we're trying to start wars, I think I would do an exceptional job. Which that has seemed to be the American stock and trade for the last, 5 decades?
You're not wrong.
We're just going to intercede on another country's behalf, even though we weren't asked to. There's oil in them there hills.
Oh.
Do you know how many pandas, or like how many pandas kill? Or God damn it, I can't think straight.
Are they on stage doing a Type 5?
Yes. How many humans do panda bears kill per year? Like, how dangerous are they?
I didn't find anything that suggests that they kill people.
Yeah, I mean, pandas are pacifists.
As sport.
Self-avowed.
Like,
pacifist.
well, I mean, you could look at, like, Kung Fu Panda. Like, he wasn't a pacifist, but his dad made really good soup, so I think that's probably fine.
Okay, fair enough. I don't know why I was thinking about that now, but now there is a mystery to be solved.
I can look that up, but I really think that it probably hasn't been panda murders.
Well,
Michael's
let's,
our person behind our person in the armchair for that. I think he could find that info quick.
Hold on, I got this.
I mean, I think we should probably just have the people that dress up like panda bears going around killing humans, and that would be the easiest serial killer to hide.
I feel like it would be better than any of the Purge movies.
Yeah, and we've talked about panda privilege. I mean, I'm sure we'd let them get away with murder. We need to keep them
Oh,
around.
he's so cute.
You can't
can get away
execute
with a
him.
couple.
Yeah.
He didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah, if they try to bring him up on charges, it'll be just like, I need to return some videotapes.
The perfect Manchurian candidate.
I was thinking that
Pandas.
too. Well, so when that's where it is. Because she's like, oh, just like gift them to diplomats. It's like, well, can you train a panda bear to infiltrate and then just eviscerate everyone inside of this political party?
I mean, they have. It's called Panda Express. We've been trying to kill ourselves with MSG for the last few decades.
Well, I've heard that MSG is fine.
Yeah, well, I don't believe it.
I can't believe it's not butter.
According to Google, 3 people have been attacked by giant pandas, but they were all fine. So
Were they
so
all
kind of-
also in panda suits?
this did happen at the Beijing Zoo, so it's not impossible that they weren't in panda suits.
Or it was staged. Who knows?
Or
Covered
it was,
up even.
Christmas Eve. Because everybody eats Chinese on Christmas Eve.
What?
It is known.
It is known. Traditions,
Especially-
man. They can't be
Mhm.
bucked.
Yep. Especially in Japan.
Have
which
you not
is
heard of
right
that,
next
John?
door to China.
No, I have not.
So
Oh no, that's
the
KFC.
reason
Never mind.
is
I mean, it
because
is basically.
Chinese restaurants are one of the few that are actually open on
Oh,
Christmas Eve.
yeah,
They
yeah.
don't take the holidays
Got
off
it,
like
got
the
it.
rest of us.
Right on.
They don't believe
All right.
in our silly bullshit.
I mean, neither do I.
See? That's why we have it in common.
So back to panda diplomats. One quote from Time magazine article states, the panda's ancestors killed and ate meat, like other bears, but somehow they lost that instinct. That's an important message for us to send overseas. That we promote peace, not just in China, but for the world.
They've chosen to be vegetarians.
So I get into this a little bit later, but what's really interesting about pandas, I don't know if you've ever seen what their teeth look like, but they have 2 huge canines and they use them for ripping bamboo. But according to some of the articles I read, they used to be meat eaters. And actually, they don't have the gut enzymes to even break down the bamboo. Like, it's actually really awful for them. Part of that is, one of the theories I read was it's because we forced them to eat it so that they would become more docile. Another thing had to do more with just environment and habitat changing and not having as much access to other food.
Okay. Thought it was like, Americans and corn.
I mean, bamboo's a great source of food if you can tolerate it because it grows like a weed. So, this is where we get really deep in the conspiracy here.
Dirty.
In 1984, the same year as Satanic Panic, China declared that they would no longer be gifting pandas, but they would instead be sending them out as loans. Probably so the pandas didn't get indoctrinated, but I couldn't find anything to back that up. And in fact, Nixon was gifted 2 pandas during his presidency.
Bullshit.
One was
That is
Henry
true.
Kissinger.
No, he was probably gifted it because he helped open the door to communication between China and the U.S. Right?
Right.
Or they were just trying to encourage Kissinger to mate. Mr. President, I've never seen anything more rousing in my entire life, and I must have her.
Oh,
It's a male panda. That's fine.
oh, that's not fan fiction I want to read. Thank you.
No.
Oh.
Who's my
I'll allow
pretty
it.
panda?
And actually, when Nixon got his pandas, it caused a global uproar because other countries wanted to know why they had not been gifted pandas.
He didn't steal them. He's not a crook.
Aroo. That's my best Nixon impression.
Wait, is Nixon still president?
I thought he was.
What year is it?
I have no idea. Holy shit. Who am I? I thought someone
All right.
would interrupt my bit again.
All right.
Well, there I go.
So, of course, when people started asking for pandas, they were like, no, you can't have our pandas. That's not what we're doing here. So now when you see a panda outside of China, know that they are on a 10-year loan and will eventually be returned back to their homeland.
China,
In addition
the public library of the world.
In addition to being on loan, the zoos that host the bears as foreign exchange students are required to pay an annual fee of anywhere to $500,000 to $1 million a year. So if you go to a zoo and they're like, hey, if you want to see the pandas, it's going to cost extra. That's why.
Well,
Wait.
I have a question about the loaning.
Yeah.
What happens if a panda is born? Is it also on loan, or are you covering that?
That is my next sentence. Thanks, Michael.
Ha
What happens when a baby panda is born in somewhere like the US? They have to be sent back to China. That is the rules. Every contract, every birth that happens is all tracked through the Chinese government. And so basically, if you have mated your pandas, that is because the government has said you could. And so once that baby reaches a certain age, it goes back to China and they decide from there, are they going to loan it out to another country or are they going to keep it in China?
Okay.
This has become such a hot topic, and specifically because China doesn't deal with the U.S. government as far as the panda loans. They actually deal directly to the zoos. That this year, 2022, there is a House bill expressing the need for the government to have a say in the panda relations and that pandas born in the U.S. should belong to the U.S.
Is that true?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
God, I want to move to Canada.
Oh my god.
Yeah, specifically, do I have the Yeah, it's House Bill 897, expressing the sense of the House of Representatives that any giant panda born in the United States should belong to the United States, and the United States should seek the coordination of its allies to establish collaborative giant panda breeding programs.
So gun regulation, nationalized health care, any of the reasonable things that we should be discussing is now being, pardon the term, trumped by talking about the fucking panda bears.
Oh, but it won't pass the Senate. Republicans will just be like, "Oh no, we gotta." Actually, no, they might be on board.
I think
it's all about self-reliance and building their own stuff.
No, I think panda bears sound strikingly similar to Republicans to me in general. I mean, they don't know how to fuck, they don't know how to have fun, they have to be coaxed into doing anything against their will. And they basically just lay around eating shit and waiting to die. That's a Republican to me. I mean. Fuck. Yeah. If I see one with red hair, I'm going to shoot it on sight. And I can, because I can own as many guns as I fucking well please. Thanks, the U.S. government.
And he could actually go get more today without
Absolutely.
any checks.
Yes, I could approach them with an Armalite.
Oh, yeah. What?
Exactly.
Yeah, it won't make you feel better to know that there is a foreign policies committee that is actually working on this. This is their job.
They probably have more money working towards them than those that are trying to find, unidentified flying objects.
Here's hoping.
And for me personally, I would probably put pandas near the bottom of foreign policy issues, but it makes you wonder if they're so important, why? What is going on with pandas?
Too right.
That's a good point.
I'm fairly certain one of them is the governor of our state.
I think I've seen pandas do things more useful, so I don't know.
Yeah.
And then in addition to this being a literal political topic right now, pandas are very expensive. Obviously, we talked about $500,000 to $1 million per year for a zoo to have them. To the point that one conservationalist by the name of Chris Packman has been quoted saying, "It's possibly one of the grossest wastes of conservation money in the last half century." He said he would even eat the last panda if it meant that they could transfer all the money thrown at pandas over to any other species or entire habitats. So
I can get behind that statement.
I'm just
I'd try it too.
I'm looking forward to the Kurt Vonnegut-esque future where, alien species just keep us in zoos for their own amusement and delight. It's really
probably function about as well as the pandas.
Here's
some human porn. Have at it.
Human
Finished in her ear
porn.
again.
I actually understand that reference
porn.
Now. It's the only one of his books I've read so far.
It's not a bad place to start.
It's not.
I feel like those of us who thrived in the isolation of the pandemic will actually do really well in the alien zoos. I'm not really worried about that. I think that sounds wonderful.
Man, if they let me read, I'm set.
Yeah, shit.
So the last piece of this that I'm going to cover is exactly what I learned from TikTok. And when I tell you there are hundreds of videos on this topic and more made every single day, that's probably a gross understatement. So I'm really shocked that there haven't been any newer news articles about it. And some of the arguments were actually that's weird. So we're going to get into the really weird niche stuff.
Ooh.
Outside of the government conspiracy, because obviously something's going on there.
Man, getting into panda niche sounds just complicated enough. I don't think we need to make it any worse.
So, of course, the lack of mating opens the doors to theories about if pandas are actually, baby pandas are actually puppies that are painted to look like baby pandas. And so they can stage those pictures and stage those videos online for people's enjoyment so that you will continue to want to go to zoos and support them.
Sort of breed of dog would you try to masquerade as a panda?
That's what I was thinking.
We'll get to that because a country has done that before.
God.
Can I take a stab at the country?
Sure.
I'm going to guess that it is Russia. And because I know there's some Russian mountain bear dog thing where it's a massive fucking beast of a dog. So I'm going to guess that.
Okay. Oh, hang tight. You will get your answer soon.
Yes.
Well, Russian Mountain Bear Dog is my new favorite band on tour with Gushing Grannies. So,
Ooh, callback.
As I mentioned previously, multiple TikTok users have suggested that pandas are people in suits due to the strange behaviors that have been caught on camera, while others are convinced that pandas are lab grown, which would explain their poor evolutionary traits.
this guy's throwing popcorn in their mouths in a panda suit. She's like, fucking can't wait till my shit's over.
Well, there's one set of pictures of young pandas on playground equipment where they're like using it properly. And apparently we assume that bears are too stupid to figure out toys for children. So obviously they have to be people in panda suits.
Okay. That sounds legit. I can buy it.
Pandas pee upside down. Like they put their hind feet up on a tree, their front paws down on the ground, and that is how they pee.
Is that bullshit?
No.
I mean, doesn't everybody do this?
Yeah, I mean...
When you get to the urinal, you're just...
So when I do it...
Yeah, I thought that's how you...
I thought
that is how you do it.
If
yeah.
anyone was going to advocate for strange relief of their bodies, I think Captain Waffle Stomp here would have tried that at least once.
Yeah, I mean, it leaves a lot of possibilities.
I mean, we learned in Reservoir Dogs that that's how you have to do it if you have your, penis glued to your belly by an angry woman.
Admittedly, it's been a long time since I've seen Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah, you had to do a handstand every time you had to take a pee. So,
I just don't tip.
furthermore, I mean, in a public restroom, no less. I mean, why do you think your shoelaces are wet? You think you want to put your hands down there to do a handstand?
I mean, at least you could wash your hands after. Your shoes are going to just have to stay wet, so...
I mean, that's why,
Are
we given the opportunity to pee in our own pants?
With the
Depends.
price, with the inflation and like pricing, the pricing of clothes and shoes going up, we should protect our shoes more than our hands.
Yeah,
So-
I agree.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
When pandas aren't peeing upside down, they also will climb up really high into a tree and sit down to pee. Scientists believe that they might do this to spread their scent and mark their territory. TikTokers believe it's because they're people in panda suits.
I mean, I also climb trees just to use the bathroom. So, yeah, I can see that. Definitely.
Okay.
Mhm.
I saw you do it at
And then I
Fan
get-
Fusion,
Exactly. And then I get stuck up there for hours, and then someone has to rescue me.
and then you,
Just probably like a panda.
and then you're paying money to a nonprofit that you have to call in to cancel.
Yeah, that's how I was rescued the last time.
I thought it was just because you misunderstood a bird call and took it as that's how everybody did it. Got up in the tree and it's caca. Like, all right, I guess I will.
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not saying no.
This tidbit's for John.
Oh.
Pandas defecate up to 40 times a day.
Jealous.
Tic-
Wait, did you say 4 or 14?
40.
4D. 40.
Are we talking like
Whoa.
huge dumpers, or are we talking like dropping one of 40 pellets? Because that just doesn't sound efficient.
It depends on what you believe. So,
Depends. Trademark. If you want to determine just how much a panda poops in the course of a day, you should use Depends. They're comfortable, they're well lined, and it can hold up to 40 different dumps from any panda's posterior. Depends.
oh no.
Use them whenever you want. I'm sorry, didn't mean to interrupt, but I just had
You're
to.
good. Oh, you have to start for the next clip show.
Indeed. Depends just doesn't get enough press these days. I think, for as efficiently as they allow folks to, poop on public transit, they should be lauded.
And it's
Amen.
so thin nowadays. Like people don't even know you're wearing it.
Mm-hmm.
They make
Perfect.
fashionable ones too,
Yeah.
Ooh, they have prints?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like Purple Rain?
and thongs.
New Depends thongs. Doesn't really work, but at least it looks nice.
Well, I mean, it'll at least catch the front runoff.
That's true.
It's all fun and games until you forget which pair you put on that morning, though.
Oh no.
Well, I feel like those are just beach ready. Like, if you just want to be able to swim in the ocean and not worry about whether people see you pee, depends thong.
I thought everybody peed in the ocean. Is that not a thing?
Well, if you're
all
laying
the
down
animals do.
Yeah, if you're sunbathing, you just can't be bothered to get up and walk, a couple yards to the ocean. Then
I mean,
depends.
that's
And
why
then you
you
don't
just
have to explain yourself.
just sunbathe at a nude beach, my friend. Then you can just look like a decorative fountain.
Oh, he's kind of shy about his new muscles.
Oh, no. All right. TikTok user Bamboo Bay 69 claims that this is an obvious ploy to air out the panda suits as it gets very hot in there. So the 40 times of having to go and defecate, because they won't do it where they eat, that clearly they're going to take off the suit to air it out, and then they put it back on, and then they come back.
So the pandas have several things. First, is that username bullshit?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Nice.
Thank you for the easy one. So then the whole phrase is bullshit, or just the username?
No, that's all bullshit. I made all of that up.
Oh, okay. I was gonna ask if they actually had panda restrooms, because that would lend credence to the theory.
Credits?
Credence. I did it again. Oops.
Oh, you're toxic and I'm slipping under.
Yeah. Oh, babe. No, never mind. Move on, please.
Oh,
I've embarrassed myself
Michael,
enough.
how are you supposed to know?
Speaking of an embarrassment,
It's panda,
a
bitch.
group of pandas is called an embarrassment.
No.
That's not sketchy at all.
Wait, really?
That is absolutely true.
You can also have an embarrassment of riches, so I would say that the two are commensurate.
As I mentioned before, pandas' GI tracts struggle to break down bamboo. Obviously, it's not good for them.
The real American hero. GI tract.
And if, like I said before, if you look at their teeth, they're clearly meant for meat eating. Why would they evolve only to eat something that's not even good for them? I think the said could be same for humans. What is wrong with us? Nobody knows. Back to panda diplomacy. Some experts, according to an article from Vox, claim that a panda named Taishan was permanently removed from the U.S. due to China warning the then President Obama not to meet with the Dalai Lama. He did it anyways. They took back the panda.
Ooh.
Thanks, Obama.
Okay, that phrase alone is something that is rife for a story time for children. To stop Obama from the Dalai Lama with a mama, no.
Yes.
A mama panda.
Okay. But furthermore, panda diplomacy was technically what Chinese democracy was supposed to be before Guns N' Roses released it. They had to change it last minute because China got upset about them using pandas without permission. So hence the swap over to Chinese democracy.
And that is
so fuck
facts.
you, China.
Yeah.
That is true. That's
Yeah.
Yeah,
That is a
obviously.
true story.
huh.
Do you even Axel, man?
No.
You know what they tell the pandas? Welcome to the jungle.
We got anal nitrate. We got pornographic films.
Anal nitrate. Oh God.
And much like Michael, they enjoy a cold November rain. So it's going to be a delightful time for everybody with their guns and Moses.
Well, every rose has its thorn.
And that would be
And
poison.
it's dead. Yeah.
Oh God damn it.
Appreciate you
Well,
trying, though.
you got to play to win. Yeah.
Indeed.
You can't win if you don't try. Yeah?
That's
The
the ASU
next-
motto. Yes, I remember.
I think that's also like a motto that the Arizona Lotto or lottery had for a while. You can't win if you don't try.
I thought ASU's motto was "You're already accepted."
No, ASU's motto is, now where's the check?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck you, pay me.
Uh-huh.
Exactly.
Oh, you didn't get good grades in biology? Fuck you, pay me. Oh, you don't like your professor? You had to suck his dick to get a good grade? Fuck you, pay me. Oh, you think you can get books at a library from people who are not going to condescend to you about the fact that you can't understand most of the words you just used? Fuck you, pay me.
I just watched an episode. I'm doing a rewatch of Community. It's like the last season.
Great show.
And there's an episode, it's a bottle episode where they're trying to, there's a smear campaign that's about to come out on their college.
Poor choice of words.
Yeah, right. On whether or not they gave a diploma to a dog. And I feel like that would lean really well to your bit as well. It's like, did we give a diploma to a dog? Fuck you, pay me.
He did. That's why he's got the diploma.
In fact, he's Dr. Dog now.
Dr. Dog. Coming this week on Fox.
Yes.
He's got a new show with Caesar Milan and Dr. Phil. They solve everybody's problems.
It's like the opposite. Instead of Caesar Milan with dogs, it's Dr. Dog with humans. And it's perfect.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then Dr. Phil just asks everybody, well, how's that working for you? What you got to do is you understand you can't just pee on every fire hydrant you come into contact with, okay? Restraint is important in society. That's
Please.
right, Dr. Dog.
Go online. We've started a new foundation. It's called Diplomas for Dogs. Every donation gets another dog a diploma, and then he can feel better about himself.
Well, honestly, I mean, it is 2022, and we're inclusive.
Mm-hmm.
We have a long way to go, and I feel like dogs are kind of looked over. Like, they're smart enough.
Yeah.
Sometimes, and I feel like I've met people with degrees from colleges that I think arguably my dogs are smarter than.
Can you not talk about Michael like that? When
I was gonna say you're looking at him right here.
You don't have a degree.
I do. I have two of them.
He has multiple.
Well, here's the thing. We're already doing panda diplomacy. I think dog diplomacy is perfectly reasonable to follow.
Absolutely. Now, cue Michael singing In the Arms of the Angels, because
I still can't watch those commercials. It gets me so sad. I have to actually physically change the channel because it just makes me super depressed.
Otherwise,
I'm too broke to give money. Yeah, I'm too broke to give money. So I'm like,
you don't want to metaphysically change the channel?
No. Metaphorically either.
We're getting to the point where we're going to find out if Michael was right about his guess about what country was painting dogs as pandas. But before we get into that, in 1987, a zoo in Taiwan painted a polar bear to look like a panda as a way to drum up more guests for their zoo. People didn't like that. They got a lot of flack. They had scientists out there like, no, that doesn't look like a panda. That's not a panda. You can't keep making people pay to see that because it's not a panda.
That's just a little genuine, American ingenuity that they were displaying there. Freak shows did this for years.
What I think the sad thing is because it was Taiwan, China probably wouldn't give them a panda. So they were probably just like, well, you want to be included in the panda party? And they were not allowed.
Poor Taiwan. I'd give them a panda if I could.
I did once.
What a year it was.
Indeed.
In 2014, a circus in Italy painted Chow Chow dogs to look like panda cubs and charged people to take pictures with them until they were defrauded and the circus was eventually shut down.
Whoa. That was a little bit extreme. You paint some dogs to look like pandas, you're shut down.
I mean, they dragged Mussolini.
People were so upset.
Oh, no, Shane, no.
I mean, Italians aren't really great about prior restraint.
That's fair. They don't fuck around.
No, they'll hang you by your feet in the square and let everybody have a shot at you before you're dead. So, yeah, it's not great.
Whew.
I don't imagine they'd overreact about chows.
I do appreciate that they did use a Chinese breed of dog, at least, to try to convince people that it was a panda.
It's authentic.
It's like a chow dog, but a kid that is really nice.
And I will send you guys, and I'll post it on Instagram, a picture of the painted chow chows, because there are pictures online. You can see them.
Olive Garden,
Beautiful.
when you're here, you're a panda.
Finally, maybe the most fascinating bit of evidence to prove that pandas aren't real is that the first one was not seen by a Westerner until 1869.
Nice.
From all the research that I did, I could not find anything that dated back before that pandas had been known of or had been seen. Even if you go to the Wildlife World Fund's website, their timeline from when pandas started existing is 1869.
Huh.
So, because I'm a simple person, is that date a lie?
No.
Okay. I know you already threw out 169 reference, but I just wanted to cover my bases there. That's so bizarre. I mean, considering that the West has been in contact with China since Roman times, and the whole Silk Road and all that shit. So that's very fascinating. Huh.
Yeah, everything comes back to that date. It was really weird. And especially because pandas, they don't camouflage well in their environment. They don't eat. They're not supposed to be eating their environment. Like, where did they come from?
Where did they go?
Where did they come from? Cotton-eyed panda.
Okay.
No.
Shame.
Yeah.
It feel good.
So what do you think, guys? Are pandas real?
They were brought here by alien entities from other dimensions.
I like that better than the lab grown.
Yeah, show us a better way.
I don't know, man.
Actually, I even agree with that more, to show us a better way of living, you know?
We can
Just
peaceably
laze around.
live, adapt to your environment. It might kill you, but damn it, don't disrupt anybody. Just, sit there, be a pacifist.
Watch some porn,
I'm gonna be real with you though.
not reproduce.
Mm-hmm.
For the majority of your presentation, and I'm surprised that it didn't come up between Shane or myself. And I was just leaving it open because I thought that Shane would go there. But I've just been thinking about the sexual harassment panda episode of South Park almost the entire time.
I
I think I know that one.
I was just thinking about the fact that the World Wildlife Foundation's mascot is a panda, and I'm surprised that due to the WWF lawsuit thing that we don't have more wrestlers attacking pandas.
Oh my God. You're right. This goes all the way up to the top.
Vince McMahon throwing a panda off a Hell in the Cell, 18 feet straight down through the announce table.
I'd say that panda had a family, but it didn't know how to have sex, so.
All it takes is one bad day.
Now, if the cage was constructed of bamboo, I'd give the pandas a shot, because they could break that off and use that thing like a Singapore cane. But
Honestly, Courtney, I think I'm gonna need to watch some of them TikToks. So if you want to send
I'll
me,
start sending them over.
send me some curations of panda conspiracies.
I would,
Shane's
but
apprehension.
I was like, I would, but it would make me a sad panda.
Thank you.
Oh.
Debate the brave little
And
toaster
Courtney,
again.
I'll find
Just like the saint in the willow tree.
Yeah.
Sexual harassment panda.
Yeah. Don't put that. Anyway, it's such a good episode.
Don't put that in my bum. That makes me a sad panda.
All right, so you guys got 1 out of 5 lies.
And that one
Do
was
we
an
have
easy
any
one.
stabs?
Was it Italy that did the painted dog?
Are you sure it
was
wasn't
it
Russia?
a chow chow?
It was a chow, yes.
Okay, I got nothing.
This was a really rough topic to write lies for because the whole thing is basically a lie in and of itself, depending on what you believe. But the first lie I told you is that acetone claimed that kindergartens for pandas taught them how to imitate human behaviors to further confuse and amaze us. He never said anything about that, though I do think that does track with his beliefs.
Definitely. Yeah.
I quoted an article from Christianity Today that was actually from Discover magazine. It had Christianity Today did not write the
God damn
article
it.
about intelligent design. I thought that was just a really easy layup there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear the word
it
Christian and immediately phase it out.
Yep. Look how that fucking
Of
checks
course,
out.
intelligent design. It's always intelligent
It's a
design.
coping mechanism.
Rob?
I told you that one theory about panda cubs, like the newborn babies with the is that they were actually puppies dressed up or painted to look like pandas. I haven't found anything that espouses that theory, but give it a couple weeks, there probably will be a theory.
Especially since we are the now leading experts in this topic. So, yeah, I can see that. It'll trickle down.
And then, of course, you got the lie about pandas taking off their suits when they poop to air them out. And that Bamboo Bay 69 is not a real TikTok name.
Not yet.
And then and that's going to actually be our new panda feed where we only share and repost videos of the panda conspiracy.
Oh, I thought we were just going to share and repost the videos of trickle down as defined by Michael, where you do a handstand before you pee.
That might also drive viewership, but not the viewership I want to be involved in.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
That's fair.
And then the last lie was I told you that in Taiwan they painted a polar bear to look like a panda. They actually painted a sun bear, and if you've seen a sun bear, that looks even less like a panda. If you don't know what a sun bear is, that's actually what Paddington is based off of. Is the sun bear. So
do what now?
Yeah.
All right.
So that
and they come with their suits and everything, their raincoats and all that. Sun bears.
Yes, you can go. The Phoenix Zoo has a sun bear, and he always has a raincoat on, and it's adorable.
I thought it was the mask that they gave the guy that was, filleting another individual in the Overlook Hotel. They both look up.
Well, that too.
It's supposed to be a dog, but that looked like a bear.
Yeah.
Definitely agree. Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you for this topic to think over. It's gonna go with me wherever I go now.
It was hard for me to bear.
Yeah. Bear down for midterms.
Indeed.
I mean, Michael looks pandalarious over there, so I don't think it went over well.
Hair down, bear down.
Ugh. Damn U of A. They're fucking wildcats. Why is their phrase bear down? That's always bugged me for as long as I've known.
Because they don't own squatty potties in that heathen city.
Also, yeah, it's Tucson. What do you expect? Intelligence?
Oof.
Just constipation.
I mean, we've been shipping our vagrants there for the past 15 years. It's no shock that we've decreased the median IQ over there, which was already just irascibly low.
It's basically a fucking bus stop.
Essentially. I mean, in Tucson, people's IQs are essentially that of their, hat size.
There's only one good thing about Tucson.
Yeah,
that's that Boca taco shop. That's the only fucking good thing about Tucson.
Okay.
Yes, indeed.
I stand by that statement.
Indeed. Yeah.
Courtney,
Michael, I thought you were going to join in the vitriol. You sounded like you were all ready to roll. And
he doesn't want to be. He doesn't want it printed.
Yeah, because I don't want to get chased out of the nice breweries that they have there. That's the only thing I like about Tucson.
They do have really good breweries, and they have some really good restaurants.
Every pit stops needs good,
exactly.
good eats and drinks, but it doesn't
needs rolly food.
It doesn't mean that everything outside of those establishments is worthwhile.
I think you misspoke.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It's Pit Stain.
Oh, sorry.
And sounds like Michael backpedals better than Carrie Lake. But regardless.
God damn.
Get her, Dad.
I don't know why I got all political today, but apparently that's the mood that we're in. And
it's Panda Diplomacy.
Indeed. And if you feel like exchanging a bit of your political agenda with us, you can subscribe, rate, and review because we would love to hear from you. Naturally, we've got new episodes winging your way every lovely Monday. You should check them out. If you haven't already subscribed, I would recommend you do so. And of course, there's a link tree down below with all of our relevant socials, which includes our vibrant, shining TikToks, our delightfully entertaining YouTube feed, and of course, all the other nonsense that we get up to. So you should go scope that. It'd be delightful.
Yeah.
And I believe that is going to officially wrap this episode up just like a tissue being abused in John's recording room. Glad you made it through, friend.
White flag.
Never stood a chance. Those poor tissues.
He's done.
These ones aren't even happy tissues.
Oh no.
I mean,
Actually, no, I'm glad.
we've talked about semen and snot being essentially the same consistency chemically. So I mean, technically they
God.
are.
Guys, I never thought that you really could have mucus come out of your eyeballs. I flat out have had Captain Trips.
Oh my god.
Start getting noodle neck, friend. Don't call me.
Yeah, it's been wild. It's been crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm on. This is by far the best I've felt. So,
Oh, cool.
also with Michael's, all of you have survived through your episodes.
What are you?
Yeah.
What are you even talking about?
What? What
I
year
don't
is
know.
it?
I don't know what you're referring to.
All of you have done an episode while you've been sick.
Uh huh.
I can't be the only one to back out.
I mean,
Blackout or back. Damn it. Back out or blackout.
There we go. Disassociate for me, baby.
man, I am about to Randall flag you, motherfuckers. So before I levitate,
No.
we're officially going to get ourselves out of here. So for the Disinformed podcast this week, I'm Shane.
I'm John.
I'm Michael.
I'm Courtney.
And zippity zoop, we're out of here.
Mucus.